He-Man, Netflix version, Kevin Smith is out. And as of right now, the audience is attempting to kill He-Man the first 5 episodes. Trashing it, saying it's too woke. All I got to say is, pump your damn brakes. Let's talk about this right now.
I have the power!
What's happening, YouTube? You back in the building with Lamont Tyson's, aka Life Gains, aka the Life Gains channel. This is your first time finding me, please subscribe, as we're going to break this thing down, let you know why these people are just going nuts over nothing. Maybe they have grown man issues, maybe Peter is too weeder, and they don't know how to handle their own stuff, but this was not as horrible as they're trying to make it sound. Take it from me, a complete He-Man fanatic. I've had this He-Man glass since I was 5 years old, and I'm over 40 now, okay? I've even got the He-Man Funko Pops. So I'm real to this thing. I'm not going to lie to y'all. And let's just go ahead and start talking about this thing from the jump. So we've got Kevin Smith producing, doing the writing, and putting this thing together. He's a showrunner. And we've got some of the best voice talent I've seen on a cartoon since the DC universe. So we've got Mark Hamill. Do I need to say anything more? You guys know Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, yada, yada, yada. We've got Lena Headey, Evil Lynn. Do I need to say any more? Game of Thrones, one of the best series to ever come on TV. And then, just for a little sprinkle of hotness, King Grayskull is voiced by Dennis Haysbert. Waiting to Exhale, insurance commercial guy, the whole nine. So that gives you a good background of where we're going to go with this story. Then as we get into the story, episode 1. Basically, it takes place where we get to see He-Man early. Early and often we get to see He-Man. Skeletor takes over Castle Grayskull, tells the sorceress to call your champion, and damn it, she calls his ass. He comes in there. They have this great battle. He-Man lands the sword of Grayskull, a sword of power, right through Skeletor, only to fall victim to what Skeletor wanted from the first place, to unlock the cauldrons, the deep cauldrons of Grayskull, to unleash all the magic. And by doing so, they open up a dimension, they send He-Man, and they split the sword into 2 parts, which was the sword was the conduit of magic for all the universe, not just Eternia, but the whole damn universe. Skeletor puts his essence inside Evil Lynn's glass bottle, and now we're having a fight from episode 2 through 5 of basically Teela being on her own self-mission. She becomes basically a mercenary for hire, having to put these 2 pieces of the sword back together because they're losing magic on Eternia. And along the way, she gets a black girlfriend. Yes, she gets a black girlfriend. She goes and get what a lot of people would deem as a lesbian haircut. Yada, yada, yada. So that right there by itself, people had folks' panties in a wad as if they couldn't enjoy the story. Then, as we get further on into the story, she winds up having to team up with Evil Lynn via the sorceress because they have this great plan to merge the sword back together. But they're going to have to go to hell, then they're going to have to go to heaven. So Teela puts together a little bit of a team that includes Evil Lynn, Beastman, who I enjoyed this Beastman. He wasn't the Beastman we're used to, the little punky Beastman that was scared of everything. The only thing he was the master of was Beast. Well, this Beastman was bad. And while Skeletor is gone, Triclops has taken over Snake Mountain and is using robotics and science and has become anti-magic. So now Triclops is trying to take over all of Eternia, what's left of it anyway. And while Teela is recruiting her team, she's got to go get her father, Man-at-Arms, who had been banished from the capital because guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Somebody in this story knew a secret that they didn't know back in the old stories. Queen Marlena, Prince Adam's mother, she knew that Prince Adam was really He-Man the whole time. And Randor, the king, didn't know anything. And when he found out that Man-at-Arms knew, he banished him away from the castle. And when Teela found out that she was in the dark from everybody else knowing who He-Man was. She went on her mercenary missions. And so now she's having to go back to her daddy because he is deemed the most dangerous man on the planet because, hell, he's man at arms. He's their version of a hyped up MacGyver. He can do the science and robots and robotics that we all know can help save the world. And he done that. He actually created his own damn version of Ultron that Teela winds up taking into hell and heaven to use to get back the two halves of the sword. And so this is an area in which a lot of people are frustrated with the story. I even made mention that this would be something that would frustrate me. I said if Kevin Smith makes this story where we're having to wait damn near 6 episodes before we get to see He-Man, I'd be upset. Well, in the first 5 episodes, they basically banish He-Man to some void. So after the first transformation, you don't get to see him again. Period. That's it. That's the end of I Have the Power and all that. And so I can understand why some fans are upset with that. They don't like the way that writing went. I can totally get that. I don't get why you're mad that they're front staging Teela to build the story. I didn't have a problem with them front staging Teela. Hell, she's badass. She's doing her thing. Her sidekick was okay. It wasn't nothing special about her sidekick. But I'm fine with the way they went with the story. The only thing I would have to say is I wish they wouldn't have drugged that out for 5 episodes. I mean, they could have shortened that to like 2. But it's not enough to just say, oh, this shit is whack, it's too woke. No, ladies and gentlemen, if anything is woke, that's the only quote-unquote woke part. How the hell does that trash the whole movie? You let me know. And so now Teela's gotten to hell. She's got to overcome her inner fear, which was, having to fight someone as tough as He-Man or herself. She overcomes that. And along the way, ladies and gentlemen, of them defeating hell, going to heaven, we lose Orko. I'm okay with this Orko. I didn't really care for the Orko voice, but I mean, I'm fine with it. I'm fine with Orko being kind of like the comic relief. I just wish he would have had a different voice. That didn't sound Orko enough for me. Okay, so now we're in heaven. She's in heaven, and she sees Adam. He's in heaven because they got to get the second part of the sword to connect it, all that. Okay, so now this is when we get introduced to King Grayskull. Ladies and gentlemen, you should be marveling at the fact that they wrote in King Grayskull, but this is probably what made people mad. Ladies and gentlemen, King Grayskull is black. Let him have been a white dude, folks might would have been more accepting of it. But King Grayskull is black. And for those of you that don't know about King Grayskull is the namesake of Castle Grayskull, Hordak, the Snake Men, and Skeletor. Here's the problem. Of the 3 evil people I named, the most powerful of the 3 evil people was Hordak. Why was Hordak so powerful? Because Hordak meshed magic with science. So think of it as if Iron Man had the same powers. If Iron Man could be Iron Man and he had the powers of Thor and Odin, that was Hordak. The next most powerful person was the Snake Men because they had ungodly magical powers. And then came Skeletor. Skeletor was nothing but a potato cake back in the day. His magic was low level. So every time these 3 had to fight each other, Skeletor would be the first one to get his ass kicked. Well, there came a great battle for Eternia, where the Snake Men and Hordak and his crew fought to the bitter end. And of course, Hordak won because he used technology with magic. And he's the size, King Grayskull was able to take the power of Grayskull and that sword and resurrect all that that Hordak's ancient beings was trying to do by sending him to the void. He was able to redirect that to Hordak. But on the way to getting in the void, Hordak was able to unleash a wound, a fatal mortal wound on King Grayskull. And so King Grayskull was dying, but right before he died, the ancient elders power back to eternity, but I'm not going because I don't want to give up my sweet spot here where I'm at living. All right. So Adam goes on through because he wants to come back and help save and avenge and take care of Eternia, yada, 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 like a good hero. They merge the 2 swords. Roboto dies. He sacrifices himself, realizes that he's Ultron number 2 for the Masters of the Universe. sacrifices himself so that they can get this sword put back together and have this power. So they're back on Eternity and says, I was hiding in there the whole time because this was my whole entire plan so that I could get close to this power of Grayskull, grabs the sword from Adam, lifts it up, wields it, calls the power of Grayskull, and now he is the size of Surtur, ladies and gentlemen. He is bigger than Grayskull. He has the power of the universe. And ladies and gentlemen, that part was great to end on, but I think a lot of the critics and even myself, you could have got to that a little quicker. I have no problem with the storyline with Teela, just that it could have been a little quicker. And now that we're going to be paused on episode 5 with the cliffhanger of the hitter that's going to have to help. First of all, Adam, he's not dead yet, but he's on his deathbed, so he can't transform right now. You're going to have to bring in some superpower to deal with Skeletor and get that power back. And I would say it'd be no better time than to bring in She-Ra. You could bring in the space aliens that have helped He-Man in the past, but you could also bring in Hordak and the other crew because they are in danger now too. So ladies and gentlemen, I don't know why everybody has been giving this thing a 5 on a 10 scale. It's way better than that. I'll give it a full-fledged 8 on a scale of 10 being the best. I can't wait to see what they do in the next 5 episodes. Just be patient, my people. Hold your horses, and it's going to all come to fruition. That's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe, get yourself that life game. Let me know if you guys stuck in there through episode 5 and you're intrigued and you can't wait to see where they go. And be sure to catch me on IG, Instagram. Link is in the description if you ever want to get on with me live on my show on a Friday. And until that next Sexy as Hell video, I'll see you.